So, I think we have to exercise a little caution. I'm sure that Declare would have followed the line you suggested by roughing a diamond and then coming back to hand and playing a heart. And it probably went Jack King, and when that held, he claimed his 10 tricks.
Absolutely, yeah. So waiting is part of the game here with 28 tables in play. I can tell you we are getting, let's see, Alain Deby, Michel Abécassis, North-South for France, against Jan van Cleef from the Netherlands, playing with Drake from USA. I just posted the link to table 6, well, all tables actually, all 4 tables. We are at table 6 here, and there you can see all the pairs for the first 20 boards. So this will lead to 3-note trumps, and most likely a diamond lead from West. And this is not straightforward. Clubs 4-2, king of clubs off. The good news for Declarer is that diamonds are 4-4. But he's not home yet. If if they lead fourth best, he knows that diamonds are 4-4 already, because he has the 2 in his own hand. So now it becomes interesting. What should De Clara play on? If clubs behave, he's in pretty good shape, but they don't, as we see. Now he's down. You know, it would be double dummy. In order to make this contract, he had to go up with the ace of diamonds and play the 10 of spades from his hand. But that's double dummy, isn't it? Are you with me, Mark? It was very interesting.
Yeah, I am, Roland. I'm trying to sort of think about it, which is not always easy when they're playing quickly, and it's a tough deal. What I was thinking was, I wonder if De Clara had, say, just ducked a diamond. I wonder if he'd have kept some more options open. I mean, I suspect that if you could always make 3 no trumps if you could see the cards, but in practice I think you're just going to go down, because it's obvious to play on clubs and hope they deliver 5 tricks.
Yes, but can't you do that later? Now, if you know that diamonds are 4-4, how could it cost to exit with a 10 of spades? Go up with the ace of diamonds and exit with a 10 of spades?
Yes, sort of giving you an extra chance. You're still only up to, are you up to 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8? You're still only up to 8 tricks, aren't you, in top tricks, even if the spades are 3-3 and you can make 3 spade tricks. so you'll still need to develop a heart trick. What will you be losing? You'll lose a club, 2 diamonds, a spade. You can't afford to lose a heart. No, I think that's a very tough deal. I'm going to have to look at that in a bit more detail, I think. I shall certainly be writing about it. So it should appear in tomorrow's bulletin.
Now what will Jan do here? The conservative viewer passing 2 diamonds, or will he bet 2 no trumps?
Well, they're playing for imps, aren't they? So I would suspect he'll take the more aggressive view.
Yes. 2 no trumps and pass by West, who has a minimum. Now what can Declarer do here? Say he gets a club lead, then he has 2 clubs, 5 diamonds, 7, and he needs to develop 2 tricks in the majors. And he probably can. Sorry, he's only in 2. Sorry. 5, 7, yeah. Well, 2 no problem there. If he gets a club lead, that is. But he didn't. That's a good lead. Now, best here is to play the queen, setting up a finesse against the 10. But you would expect Norse to have the 10 of spades after the lead. No way you can know that this is from shortage.
Well, obviously one way you could get home is to win this in hand with a king of spades, cross to dummy with a diamond, and play a heart. And then with the ace of hearts being well placed, you've got 5 diamonds, a heart, a spade and a club. Carefully plays the 8 of diamonds to make sure there's no question of the diamond suit being blocked.
Indeed. Mark, can I ask you to take BBO sound off? If you can't remember how to, let me guide you. You see the buttons at the top, the force from left, options. You click on options and click on sound.
Yes, I've done that, Roland.
Excellent, good. Then we can't hear the clicks when they play a card.
Ah, right, very good.
This was certainly not the way to play the contract, because now Levy has plenty of tricks, 3 spade tricks and the ace of hearts to take it 1 down.
Yes, it is slightly odd, isn't it? Because let's say as happened here, the 9 of clubs lost to an honour. I mean, how was that going to help De Clara to develop his 8th trick? I think he thought that 10 of spades was certainly with North, so the suit was effectively frozen. So to that extent he was perhaps unlucky.
For new listeners, this is cross imps, not match points. But I agree with you, very, very difficult for Drake to know that the Jack of Spades was from short edge. I'm asked about running scores. I can't see any, I can't find any, and I doubt that we get running scores. We may get scores after each segment of 10 boards, but other than that I know absolutely nothing. Next we'll get an all-Italian encounter. Not two of the most famous pairs from Italy, as you will see shortly. Midugno Rinaldi, north-south, against Davossa, and Stelio Di Bello. Davossa and Di Bello I know about, not so much about the north-south pair, but we have Mark here, he knows everybody.
Well, you might be right there, Roland. In practice, it's more a case probably of everybody seems to know me. No idea why. Di Bello, I know, Stelio Di Bello and Davossa, and Rinaldi I know, but the South player is a new name to me.
Yep. Davossa plays a strong club system with other partners. Not sure about what he does with Di Bello. Stelio Di Bello, by the way, doesn't he live in London now? I think he does, and he has been living there for some time now.
Yes, he might well, of course. I stopped living in London several years ago now, so I don't keep up with the London bridge scene.
This could well be an upgraded 1214. Could also be a mini no trump, of course, 1013 or some such. We don't know. Nothing much to upgrade there, so it's probably a mini 1013. Now this is an easy make with heart 3-2. I can count 5 heart tricks, 2 aces, and at least 1 spade. If the declarer guesses the jack of spades, he can make an over trick. And as I said before, it's not really important, not significant with this format across imps, whether you make an over trick or not. Mark, would you care to explain the format? Cross-imping, 28 tables, many in the audience.
Yes. What I don't know, Roland, is whether or not the top and bottom scores will be eliminated in making the calculation. That's sometimes the case to prevent too wide a spring, but I think here all results count, and so basically you take your result, and let's assume that you achieve something quite spectacular by bidding and making a Grand Slam, and you're the only pair to do so. Then you will collect the appropriate number of imps from every pair in the field that didn't bid the Grand Slam, not just the imps from your table. So slams and games can produce some very spectacular swings in terms of the number of imps, and so too can large penalties.
Yes, but there must be a cap, don't you think? That there's a cap?
Well, that's why I suggested that sometimes they remove the top and bottom scores to prevent things being too wild, but I'm not sure. It's a very long while since I played in a cross-imp event.
So now East is vulnerable, and they don't play a mini when vulnerable. So just a natural one club with transfer responses, as we see here. One diamond showing hearts. These should jump to 2 hearts to show a minimum with 4 card support. Normal enough contract, and as the cards lie, I think you can make a slam here. Just losing a club trick. Club honor is divided, and the suit 3-3. You just need 1 diamond rough. And when clubs come in for 3 tricks, then you have 12. Not a slam you really want to be in, but as it happens, it will make. I don't expect anyone to get to slam. Do you, Mark? No, certainly not. 11 opposite, what is it, 15? I don't think so.
This is such an exciting hand, Roland, that I think I'm just going to quickly make a coffee.
Yes. And what Mark suggested there was that there's nothing to the play, and declarer will take 12 tricks. heart 3-2, king onside, club 3-3, 1 honor onside, 12 easy tricks. And a claim. Now, end of round 3 now. In round 4 we are getting 2 French pairs. Quentin and Franchetti against Thomas Bessis and Volcker. And they were quite expensive in the auction last night, Bessis and Volcker, that is. They came 5th and were sold for €20,000. When Mark is back, I'm going to ask him a question. Maybe he knows.
Ask away, Roland.
How much of a share are the players allowed to buy back?
Ah, yes, good question. I think I read something about that in one of the bulletins. I think they're allowed to buy up to half of themselves, so 50%.
All right, but do we expect Thomas Bessis and Volcker to buy half of themselves, 10,000? I mean, they went for 20. I don't.
Depends how much money you've got, really. I mean, what I would say is that from earlier editions of the Cavendish, the ones which were always played in the United States, it was not uncommon for a strong pair to obtain a backer, and basically the backer would give them enough money to buy back a percentage of themselves. So you were effectively being sponsored to play and would share your winnings, if anyone, with your financial backer.
Now, say you own the winning pair, Helnes Helgemo. Say they didn't buy anything back, so they went for 35,000, right? How much do you win if you own that pair? What kind of
Right. Well, those figures for sure will be published, I suspect, in tomorrow's bulletin because they're easily calculable. But given that there's about half the pool as opposed to the amount raised last year, which I think was over €1 million, I would expect the winner, the person who bought Helgamo Helnas, to be getting something in excess of €100,000. I haven't done a precise calculation, but probably in the region of, say, 125 to 130,000 euros. I may be several thousand euros out there, so not great odds. And traditionally in the past, Helgamo and Helnas have not done that well in the Cavendish, so it's not a sure thing by any means.
Now here's a link to today's bulletin, and on page 10 you can see all the amounts there in the auction, and it's easy to see that the lowest bid must have been 5,500 or maybe even 6,000, because we see a lot of pairs on 5,000. Does that mean that they had to buy themselves, Mark, or how does it work?
I think, yes, I think you are committed, if necessary, to having to buy yourself for the lowest price, and that's set by the organisers, the minimum bid. So every pair has to be prepared to do that.
What about prize money? Well, I don't know anything about prize money in the pairs. I know now, because I read today's bulletin, what the prize money was in the teams finishing yesterday. The winners got 32,500 euros, and the runners-up 23,500, I think. The teams event was won by the Dutch pair, Snellers, Agnes Snellers, Wubbe de Boer, Van den Bos and Van Langveld. In the second place we had the Lavazza team, Dubois Madala and Sia Bilder. Well, there's a question from a spectator. Should Norse race to 4 spades? Well, you are playing imps, really, so you want the game bonus if there is one. Depends on how much 3 spades shows. If you subscribe to the rule of 2 and 3, then South should have 7 tricks in his hand. And then you can add yours. You have 2 certain diamond tricks and half a club trick, half a heart trick. So yeah, I think I would raise as well.
Yes, I mean, of course, this revolves around the classic problem of what can you expect from partner when he makes a first-in-hand preempt. And French players generally, I think, are very disciplined. But I can think of a lot of players where if they opened 3 spades, you'd be very happy to pass with a north hand because you were probably already too high.
Right. On a normal spade break, you would make this. You can make a double dummy by finessing the 9 of spades, but that's not going to happen. So I expect this to go 1 down. I mean, you have to lose a heart and a club, and the ace of spades, obviously, and probably also to the 10 of spades. Very much depends on the continuation here. Best is actually to cash the ace of clubs now. Which West did. Well done to him. So now declarer will have to guess the spades in order to make the contract, and I don't think he will. As expected, 2 spade losers, down 1. Yeah, now we see North-South play 2/1, so a 2/1 response would be game forcing. And South wasn't strong enough for that, so he had to bid a no trump. 6-11. 5-11 even. Would probably race now. 3 spades. Partner could have up to 15 for his 2 spade rebid. Oh, 4 even. There you go. It's actually a pretty good contract because you have no wasted values in hearts. So if you play a spade to the ace, you have 6 spade tricks, 3 clubs and the ace of diamonds with 10 tricks. But not going to happen, as we see. Question is, can he make it now? He can if he takes a club finesse. He has to play a club to the 10 now. Then he has 10 tricks. What do you think, Mark? Is he going to do that? Or is he going to play club?
Well, I know he knows West started with 1 spade. I don't know how much of a clue he's got about East holding in the majors. He may be able to place East with 4-4 in the majors.
Yes, because he might get in with 2 hearts over 1 spade if he had 5 of them. So maybe you're right there, in which case West rates to be longer in clubs than East. And therefore it's with the odds to finesse the 10 of clubs. That would win every time West is dealt the jack of clubs, no matter how many he has. Well done.
Well, that's well done.
Very well done, yes. You have to do it. Easy for us, right? Not so easy at the table. But he played with the odds.
Good morning.
Good morning, Peter. Good morning.
Is that the famous Peter Lund?
Yes, indeed.
Yes, it is.
So in the last round of the first segment, we are getting Let's see, I have it here. We're getting failure and Anastasio from Italy against Platnik and Diamond from USA.
And Mark, promise me, don't tell anybody why I am famous.
Well, as usual, Peter, just place the money in a brown envelope.
Well, I can tell you why he is. Because he knows how to select the most expensive red wine at every restaurant.
No, not the most expensive. The best.
All right.
Yes, and that's a much more useful attribute.
I see we have no running scores. Will we have running scores in the final, Mark?
Well, I wish I knew the answer to that one, Peter. I think that's all really down to the organisers. I seem to remember last year we had running scores.
Because watching and following a past tournament where you have no results to compare with, it's not a great fun.
No, I agree with you there, Peter, entirely. I mean, we have no idea of whether a result is good or bad, really. Well, we have a feeling, but we don't know. And how quick are they? I mean, after each segment of 10 boards, to give us the standings, we don't know that either.
I wouldn't have thought this was a terribly difficult task for the scoring team to set up the computer so that it could pretty much instantaneously show you what was happening. There aren't so many tables in play. I suspect that in this session of 10 boards there won't be too many swings. There are possibilities perhaps on board 3. If you can find a way to make 3 no trumps, you might collect a fair number of imps, and maybe the board we just watched, board 8, you might see some game swings, but realistically I suspect at this level you would think the field would find a way to make 10 tricks in spades. So the other boards are relatively tiny. Board 7, north-south got too high. By the way, Roland, we didn't really talk about South's decision to open 3 spades on board 7. He only had a 6-card suit, albeit a very good one. I'm sure the rest of the field, or the majority of the field, would be quite happy to start with 2 spades or a multi, and they would be more likely then to either stop out of 4 spades or perhaps try 3 no trumps, which has some practical chances.
Yeah. I don't think it's a 3-spade opening. I mean, you're 1 trick short for 3 spades, in my view, but and only a 6-card suit, so I would open 2 spades or a multi, as you said.
Tell me, Mark, how was the auction last night? Entertaining? Did Sia and Christina do a good job?
Well, you're assuming I was in Monaco, Peter, but in fact I am sitting comfortably in my house in Sutton Venger, so I can't really tell you how the auction was.
No.
Okay, I expect you would be on the venue. I have seen that you also write for the bulletin, but my mistake.
You could do that.
Well, you know, these days you don't necessarily have to be at the venue in order to contribute to the bulletin, but there are risks in doing that, as I mentioned to Roland earlier today, that you don't have access to things which you could otherwise discover if you're working from home. Not every pair has posted a system, which means there is sometimes a bit of guesswork involved, and it's pretty clear to me that some of the operators, perhaps not yet so experienced, have difficulty keeping up with the speed of play, and so you don't always get a true representation of the cards that were played at the table.
Okay, but guessing works is easy for you. You're known for telling fairy tales.
Yes, well, one can sometimes sort of hazard a guess, but it's not always right.
No, it was a disappointment. The auction last night, I mean, it only generated 530,000 euros. And as Mark pointed out some minutes ago, I think that was half of what it generated last year, wasn't it, Mark?
Yes, I think roughly half. They normally expect to get a million or so euros from the auction. But of course, in order to do that, you need a reasonable number of people there who've got quite deep pockets. So you would hope that, for example, people like Janet de Botton would be there. Of course, Pierre Zimmermann always buys a few pairs. But you need a number of people who can afford to spend a significant amount of money in order to be likely to raise a lot of money.
Now this is a very unusual preempt, with a 5-card major on the side, unless 3 diamonds showed diamonds and hearts. Of course, we don't know, but we must assume it did. Surely it must show diamonds and hearts. Or maybe it's diamonds and a major, who knows.
Well, I find that very odd, Roland. I'm just wondering if maybe North didn't actually open the bidding at all, and maybe East-West started something like 1 spade and a response, and then North bid. I mean, suppose it had gone, for example, 1 spade past 2 spades, and North then bid 2 no trumps, and South bid 3 clubs, and North bid 3 diamonds. That would sort of pretty much be the end of the auction. That's a very strange opening bid, isn't it?
It is, unless it is a 2-suiter, which is very unusual.
And the opening lead, the ace of spades, I mean, is that what you lead against a 3 diamond opening bid as East?
No, you would lead the 4 of hearts, wouldn't you? Or a heart, I think. we don't know anything. Now here North-South have values for game, but they can't make any game. I'm sure West will get in with hearts. Then 3-no trumps has no chance. They may even get to 4 diamonds here, which is also down, as we see. North may be at 3 hearts now to ask for a heart stopper. And when South doesn't have any, they'll end up in 4 diamonds. Down 1. There we go. This was predictable, of course.
Good prediction, Roland. Anyway, I'm going to go and write up a couple of deals from this set, and I will probably join you again later in the day to see if we can extract a few more gems for the reading public as opposed to the watching and listening public.
Okay, Mark, see you later. So now they chose the 4-2 fit. Well, I know Atanasyev probably thought partner had 3 spades there. So, well, let's go for the 4-3 fit. On the surface, the Declare only has 4 losers, 3 hearts and a spade. But, he'll be shortened.
South will for sure try some cross-hopping, but he will fail on the diamond 3-1. If he could take 2 diamond tricks, then he would be home playing 3 times clubs and off a club with a queen of spade. But he needs a diamond 2-2 for that to work.
So this is the last board of the first segment. Play will resume in about 23 minutes, 11:45 local time, which is Central European time. They're going to play 100 boards of qualifying today and tomorrow. Well, would it be better for Diamond to catch the ace of spades first, before exiting with the heart? But the contract is still one down, of course. Right, thank you everyone. Hope to see you later. Bye now.